All right, guys, we're going to get right into it. I have the documents right here from 1994. This is the Radio Frequency Microwave Radiation Biological Effects and Safety Standards, a review. It was done by Rome Laboratory, Air Force Material Command, Griffiths Air Force Base, New York. Stamped and everything, all legit, 100%. So one of the things Stacy and I talk about a lot is the radio frequencies, and that you guys are being bombarded if you live in a major metropolitan area with all these antennas and these radio frequencies, and they've installed the 5G, and as I read this report, you're going to see how going from 3G to 4G to 5G, soon to be 6G, is a problem, but is explained in here why they have to do it. Okay, so you're gonna get that information in here. Also in here, I'm gonna give you guys a couple of examples on how your body is actually being affected by the EMFs and the radio frequencies, right? The microwave frequencies. Do you have a microwave in your home? Did you know in a lot of countries that they've actually banned the microwave and you can't even use them there? So if you have a microwave in your home, please pay attention close to this report and then maybe get rid of your microwave. All right. The first thing I want to do is read to you guys the abstract. The study of human exposure to radio frequency and microwave radiations has been the subject of widespread investigation and analysis. It is known that electromagnetic radiation has a biological effect on human tissue. An attempt to be made by researchers to qualify the effects of the radiation on the human body and to set guidelines for safe exposure levels. The review of the permanent findings is presented along with the American National Standard Institute recommended safety standard and the United States Air Force permissible exposure limit to RF and microwave radiations. Okay, so in 1956, the Department of Defense directed the armed forces to investigate the biological effects to exposure of radio frequency microwaves, RF, and microwave radiations. The Army, Navy, and Air Force departments commissioned a tri-service program under the supervision of the Air Force to meet the DoD directive. Okay, and if you guys are on our email list, I'm gonna get a copy of all this stuff, and I'll be sending it out to you guys tomorrow. So if you're not on our email list, go to offgridwithdougandstacy.com. A box will pop up for you to join our email list and just fill out the information. You'll then get an email from us saying, hey, did you really want to sign up for our email? And you got to hit the blue box to confirm. And once you do that, you'll be on our email list. And then I'm going to send this documents out tomorrow. Okay? But I'm going to go over a few things that this thing really talks about. And I want to bring something to your attention. It is rumored that there is a connection to when we were switching from analog to digital. Okay, so we went from the telegraph to radio frequencies, if you will. Okay, you can go look this stuff up, but when they did that was around the time that the Spanish flu outbreak happened. All right, so go do some research on that, spend a little time looking into it, see if there's a connection from when they put free radical microwaves and radio frequencies in the air, just all around the air, to when that outbreak occurred. And then think to yourself too, as they were rolling out 5G, when was that? When was that? So just think about that for a moment. Leave a comment down below if you kind of put that together already. But when did they roll out all the 5G towers? And what was happening at the time? Okay, so we're going to get into it. I'm just going to read a few of these effects that are caused by EMFs and radio frequencies, but don't go anywhere because I actually have a meter, and at the end of this video I'm going to take you to a power outlet inside the learning center here. This is our learning center where we teach people how to live our lifestyle, and I'm going to put it next to an outlet, and then you're going to see what happens at the outlets. Not buy anything. I'm going to start turning this way, and I'm going to go towards the light switch. Okay, I'm just going towards the light switch. There's no wires in this wall on that side, but look, as I start to make the turn, you're going to see the meter go. Okay, just stay tuned to the end here. Exposure to radio frequencies, RF, and microwave radiation is known to have biological effects on animals and humans. Damage to major organs, disruption of important biological processes, and the potential risk of cancer represents the dangers of RF and microwave radiation to living organisms. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard this before, but if you actually take some water and put it in a cup, and then you put it in your microwave, just for put it in there for 30 seconds or 1 minute, and then take it out, let it cool down, of course, and then pick a plant in your house and start watering the plant with just that water and see what happens in a short amount of time. And then come back maybe and leave a comment on this video, or track me down and leave a comment so we can all hear your story of what happened, okay? The response of biological materials to the absorption of thermal energy is the most perceptible effect of exposure. The energy emitted from RF and MW microwave sources is absorbed by the human tissue primarily as heat. I've heard a lot of people say that it just feels really hot outside, like hotter than normal. Are you feeling that? I don't know, it's just something that's kind of going around. Everyone says the sun just feels so intense. I mean, I'm just saying what people are reporting. It does feel hotter. The energy emitted from the RF and MW source is absorbed by the human tissue and primarily as heat. In this case, the irradiated energy is disposed in the molecules of the tissue. Dipole molecules of water and proteins are simulated and will vibrate as energy is absorbed throughout the irradiated tissue area. Ionic conduction will also occur in the... Remember when people were getting the, and then they put the magnets on them and stuff? Remember that? Man, this all starting to make sense, man. All right, hold on now. The thermal effect of the continuous wave CW and pulse radiation is considered to be the same. Non-thermal responses can be less noticeable and are often more difficult to explain than thermal effects. The responses are related to the disbursements in the tissue, not caused by heating. Electromagnetic fields can also interact with the biological functions of their infrared human tissue. Research conducted in the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe suggests that the human body may be more sensitive to the non-thermal effects of RF and MW radiation. There are many reported biological effects to humans and animals that are exposed to RF and MW radiations. A review of the important findings is given in the following. So here's heating effects on the skin, more stuff there. Local hypothermia. Wow, that's kind of interesting. Carcinogenic effects. The carcinogenic effects of exposure to RF and MW radiation are not well known. It is difficult to clinically establish a link to cancer. The problem that researchers have in linking RF and MW radiation to cancer is that the disease itself is prevalent and can only be caused by a variety of environmental factors. What is that? I thought it was hereditary or something. All right, it's environmental factors, you guys. The fact cancer is the second leading cause of death in the United States. The third is actually your doctor. Go look it up. The third leading cause of death in America are physicians. Oh my gosh, go look it up. Don't believe anything that I say. There are, however, published reports that reveal some insights into the carcinogenic nature of RF and MW radiation. Non-thermal effects can provide important clues to understanding the carcinogenic reactions in the human body. Okay? And it just goes on and on, right? The magnetic effects. Reported evidence indicates, this is where I'm going back to the thing. Remember when everyone was being sticky? Reported effects indicate that biological interactions with EM fields can cause the formation of mutagens in cells. In 1974, 3 Soviet researchers, Danikalino, Maracabo, and Kariko, references found in published results showing the magnetic effect of the radiation. Mutagens were observed to form in cells and were irradiated by a pulsed RF MW source operating at 37 gigahertz and 1 MWCM power intensity. They concluded that the irradiation of tissue by pulsed RF MW sources cause cell membranes to become more permeable to destructive chemical mutagens. Results published in 1963 by G.H. Mickey. Reference found in showed blah blah blah. Goes on about your lymph nodes. cardiovascular effects. If you guys think that all this stuff that they're pumping in the air, now did you guys notice where they're actually putting all of these radio frequencies, these 5G towers and all these towers? They're putting them next to schools, they're putting them next to hospitals, and they're putting them on water towers. Here's a classic picture right here of a water tower with all the antennas putting right on top of it. Once you start putting those antennas on top of the water, it actually kills the water. So all the people that are in that area for that water dispersal are actually getting dead water. Have you ever heard of structured water? Because that's kind of a thing, and it actually can help you with your health. No conspiracy theory. These are papers from the federal government, from the Air Force, from back in the day, okay? And if you guys go look for information, you can find it. All of this electromagnetic fields that they're putting in the air with these 5G towers and everything, they are really bad for business, okay? And they're making us sick, and they're causing us to be irritated and a lot of other factors, okay? I'm going to take you guys inside right now. I'm going to turn on my meter, and I'm going to show you a couple of the outlets. In the last video yesterday, you might want to go watch that video, but I talked about a book called Dirty Electricity. And what's happening is in everyone's home with this electricity being pushed in, it's creating this like almost like a force field in your home. You're being surrounded by this electricity, and these electromagnetic fields are pulsing on you all the time, and it's causing you some irritation. A lot of people can't get good sleep at night. They feel irritated, shortness of breath, you know, just stuff like that, right? So just keep that in mind. And again, I mentioned in the last video that Stacy and I, when we moved here, we lived 100% no public utilities, no solar power, nothing. And we lived like that for, like, we've been here 15 years. We did that for 13. And we've got solar power on this building right here. And now I'm going to show you with the meter what putting it up to your outlets looks like. All right, I'm in our shower room in that building, and I'm standing right here in the middle of the floor. And as you can see what the reading is, right? And I'm just trying to show you guys what's going on in your house. And there's no difference really that we're on solar power versus your regular outlets in your house, okay? So I'm standing here, I'm not by anything. I'm going to start turning this way, and I'm going to go towards the light switch. Okay? I'm just going towards the light switch. There's no wires in this wall on that side. But look, as I start to make the turn, you're going to see the meter go, and look how I get close to the light switch. There's the light switch. You can see it. Light switch, boom, off the charts. Okay, that's just on the light switch. That's called free radical electricity just blowing into your house. Okay, you guys can see this with your own eyes. If you can't afford a meter, I'm showing it to you. Okay, now the light's on. It doesn't matter if the light's on or off, right? The light's off now, and you still have that energy just coming out of your outlets, okay? Lights on, same reading. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to go across over here to the actual outlet. Okay? I'm trying to keep this visual so you can actually see it, because it's hard with all the glares. Now I'm going over to the outlet. Come on now. Alright, there we go. I'm going over to the outlet. Over to the outlet. Boom! Off the charts. Nothing's even plugged in. Okay? Off the charts. Back away from it. And you're getting less and less frequencies. Okay? Now real quick, I came outside just to show you one thing that I find highly suspect. You know, I'm not really a big solar power fan. You know what I mean? It's not like my thing. I only did it because we wanted to have a refrigerator, and a lot of y'all were asking me about solar. So we got with a company, and they sent us the solar stuff. Basically, that's pretty much the only reason why we have it. And I installed it, okay? But I didn't put it on my living quarters, okay? And I'm about to show you why. I just put that on a place where we're in just a little bit here and there. And I'm going to show you something else too. So hang on, here we go. All right, so I'm going to pull this over here. The closer you get to the panels, the more the signal goes off the chain, off the market, right? So where my head is at, if you will, because I'm tall, here's my head right here. So I'm getting about half power just standing here. But if I back up, all the power goes away. See, the closer you are to that stuff, the worse it is for you. So I find it highly suspect that they want everybody in America to have solar panels on their house. Hold on, let me take you back inside. If you have solar panels in your house, that means you're going to have batteries, off the chart. And it means you're going to have a inverter, off the chart. So everything that comes with your solar setup is going to be off the chart. You got it? A few things that you guys can do to limit your exposure to these EMFs and the microwaves is definitely don't use your microwave in your home. If you have Bluetooth hearing aids, you might look to replace those, okay? Anything Bluetooth you don't want to have on your head. You don't want to put your cell phone. Hold on, let me get my cell phone. Right? Cell phone's not on right now. Turn on cell phone. Unlock. Off the charts. Okay, this is why you, as soon as you unlock it, right, did you see how that jumped? Because it starts sucking in all the information from the web. It's doing all of its stuff, and then anytime you open up an app, you know it's going to go, right? Like, it's pretty quiet until then. See, it opened up the app, it kind of quiets down. You have to be careful with your phones. Don't talk on your phone like this. Use the speaker thing. Get it out of your hand. Don't keep this in your hand. And your kids and your grandkids, try to teach them now not to keep this thing in their pocket by their genitals, okay? This is a reproductive issue, a problem, okay? So don't let them keep it in their pockets or in their front pockets. I see people keeping it in their bras, in their shirt front pockets by their heart, okay? This is not good. Don't do that, please. Seriously. Just be a little more aware of all the electricity that you got going around and try to limit your exposure as much as possible. If you can, throw the breaker at your house. You know what I mean? Like, shut the electricity off. Maybe try that for 1 night or 2 nights or 3 nights, you know, and just see how much different your sleep patterns are. Okay? Sorry for making this a long video. I'm going to send out that whole document to anyone that's on our email list. Go to offgridwithdougandstacy.com, fill out the box, and we'll send that out to you. It's a very important read. They know what they're doing. I am a firm believer that I watch them talk about population control and there's too many people on the planet, and then I watch them having all this stuff around us that is literally meant to cause you dis-ease. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to keep you guys ahead of it, because if you can eliminate some of this stuff out of your life, you're going to start feeling better, then you'll be living longer, and then you might even be more cognate, and then you might even see some of the other stuff that's actually going on all around you that's pretty nefarious. Share this video with your friends, and we'll see you on the next one.